Hello there, welcome to the channel, welcome back perhaps, and here we are with a lovely new pedal which we picked up for ourselves in the States. This is the Death by Audio Space Bender, which we are very happy to own, and to be honest, are quite surprised that we own. So the story behind this is that it's one of those pedals that we had heard and were thinking, wow, that would sound really great after the clarinet, the contrabass clarinet, especially with the fuzz going on there. And it just didn't seem like something that was high up on our list of priorities. We didn't own any Death by Audio pedals, but it seemed to be of their stuff. The reverbs don't seem to appeal so much, but this one kind of stuck with us, and we couldn't quite explain why, other than it seemed to be something quite unique. So that was before we went for a holiday to the States, to Portland, specifically via Seattle, and you may have noticed we are a bit sniffly. It is winter in Tokyo now. It got very cold this week, and we're a little under the weather. We also have a hot water bottle, so you may hear that sloshing around, although this pedal is pretty sloshy as well, as we will hear. We visited Mothership Music to see if they had any pedals by Safehouse Audio, which they did, but none of which appeared to us. Mothership Music then very kindly switched us on to Hank's Music Exchange, which was just up the road. And so we went to take a look at that, and looking through their Death by Audio, we were like, oh, well, it's a great selection. It would be super cool to try them with some samples that we had. But they didn't have the Space Bender, and so we were kind of like bemoaning that to the staff a little bit, because it's one we've wanted to try, even if we didn't think we would necessarily buy it. And we were kind of bemoaning this fact, and then noticed that they had it in an alternate colour scheme than we had seen it in before. So this is a colour scheme that I believe was released to the Reverb website only, but one of them ended up at Hank's Music Exchange. So hearing it and enjoying playing it with the samples so much, and having it be in this special colour, which we like to think of as Lilu colouring, rather than reverb colouring, because who doesn't love a little bit of Fifth Element in there? But yeah, we surprised ourselves by making a little bit of a treat. So let's dive in. Now we are going to be using some samples from the acoustic contrabass clarinet recorded via the intramic, which usually we play through a fuzz pedal, and we are very excited to try this with fuzz. For the meantime, though, what we're going to do is reproduce our experience with the acoustic samples only that we had while we were at Hank's Music Exchange. So let's dive in. Here is our first sample. This is the bass range of the contrabass clarinet, rather than sub-bass, which kind of covers the majority of the instrument, like the middle of the low register up to the top of the higher register. So this is the sample. There we go. And what we're going to do now is turn on the space bender, and we've got everything in the most neutral position. So one thing that one of the synth guys on YouTube that we saw do with this pedal was keep everything with the knobs all the way down, and just see how it sounds with only the dip switches added. One of the lovely things about this pedal, by the way, is the texture of it. And what's that? The maybe not kinesthetics, but the lovely kind of physicality of it. It's definitely got design character as well as sound character, and I think that this is the designer being a little bit cheeky. The speed knob, to my mind anyway, actually gets smaller as it goes further up, but that's actually it getting faster. So yeah, it's kind of debatable whether that's a clever way of labeling it. I suspect it's kind of somewhat cheekily done, but then also the depth here. I mean, it's look, the knob doesn't go all the way round. It's not like a full, but it's still labeled like it doesn't go to, you know, what we would think of as 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. It goes up to 12, so it it goes beyond 11. So we suspect there's some cheekiness involved there. So what we have got are, other than the bypass switch, a speed knob and a depth knob, and then delay time, which is ×1 ×10, modulation from LFO to envelope, and intensity from low to high. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start off by listening with these minimized, and we're going to see how it sounds with each of these switched. So, and we will put them in combination as well. So, you know, it adds a bit of a texture delay. On its own doesn't seem to do that much. Yeah, and then there we go. That's definitely something. Okay. A slight difference. It's pleasant. Just with the ×10 on its own again. Not hugely different. And then it's very, very pleasant. But still a bit of a one-note effect, I think. pleasant. Okay, so an interesting fun start, even just that. Yields some nice interesting effects, especially in the times 10 department, with the intensity either way. Yeah, I'm not sure if LFO or envelope made that much of a difference in any case. But now we're going to play around with the speed and depth knobs in there as well. And one of the things it's worth noticing about the speed is, as well as controlling the speed of the modulation with it being slower here and faster here, is that it, according to the instructions, is when it's set to LFO mode, it also adjusts. Oh, maybe this is actually both modes, it's not entirely clear, so I'll just read from the card. When modulator is set to LFO, it controls the LFO speed, and when set to the envelope, it controls the envelope sensitivity. And then the additional comment is, additionally, this adjusts overall delay time. So, well, what we're going to do now is, and this is depth of modulation. I don't think it's worth reading that from the card. I don't think there's... apparently it also controls the feedback of the delay. Now, this is where we start getting into like why I like the Space Bender, why it has grown on me so much and so quickly. Is that like the Old Blood Dweller, which is just such a great pedal, where the phasing and the delay interplay with each other in such like a fascinating, organic, unpredictable, to some extent enjoyable way. I feel it's the same with this. There's this built into this pedal is a like an organic quality that for me makes it very much an improviser's pedal, which is something we've said recently, also in terms of the Fender Blender. So yeah, it's something we're very grateful to have in our rig, for the simple fact is that we will be able to use the pedal as a tool that's for improvising on, you know, like if we have a sample going or whatever, or we will see, but taking it that way. So let's play with the maximum values of the knobs now. Same sample. Excuse me. Yeah, like a chorus kind of thing. Not hugely noticeable. With the depth all the way down like that. Very pleasant though. Okay. And just for comparison's sake, I mean, it's not really surprising that with the modulation depth all the way down, that doesn't really do very much. But it does add a certain texture quality to it. Okay, let's see what happens with the depth gradually being moved up all the way. Well, that's a disappointment. We just erased the track. What we'll do is we'll go on to our other one. This is the what are we going to call it? Mids range of the clarinet, which is its highest notes. Or do you know what? Let's go into the whole range. There we go. That will include the bass, the mids, and the sub bass. Hold on a second. Let's go down to our sub bass range, because that has some nice thickening effect on it, even without the depth that much. Very nice. Okay. That's very pleasant. Okay, going back to our full range though, let's play around with this depth knob. Oh, dear me. I am clearly tired. Okay, this should be our full range now. Okay. This is where it gets really that's a great effect. Yeah, this is very much our chorusy kind of stuff. Now we get into more the flangery kind of side of things. Oof. That's evil. Oof. subtle, but we don't always want subtle. Take this down just a little bit less extreme. Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting how it's like, on the one hand, it's not very subtle. On the other hand, there is a lot of room for some really lovely subtlety there. Very nice. Okay, so what we're going to do now is explore the other kind of like main way that this goes. Actually, there's one more thing I want to do before we go to the delay time switch. And that is this kind of opposite of what we were doing now, with a slightly shorter depth and a longer speed. Yeah, it's a lovely subtle texture there. Yeah, it's such a lovely kind of contradictory pedal where there's some real big, bold kind of things you can do with it, but it also has some lovely subtle stuff in there too. Okay, so now I'm gonna put that delay up to times 10, and let's see what it is like with the depth and the speed all the way down. Yeah, I mean more like a reverb in the same way that times 1 was. with the raw attack of the contrabass, it's... That'll be quite different with the float, but it's still... Okay, now we're in the depth. Almost like a flanged. I mean, that's lovely. I really like that. Oh, that's just beautiful. This is where it gets a bit less subtle, you know. That, to my mind, is so sweet. Yeah. Take it all the way. I like looking at the trails on that. It's definitely longer when the depth is up, which is what I was saying before about that, like that organic interaction between the two. You know, it's not just straight depth and speed. Okay, so talking about something a bit more subtle. It's just lovely. After fuzz, that's going to be amazing. Yeah, that's just lovely. Okay, well, I think the next thing that I want to explore is this intensity switch at the bottom, because we found a nice kind of like reasonable and conventionally tasteful kind of setting, I think, there. Let's see what the intensity button does. One thing I will mention before that, though, is that I've heard some people complain that they would like to have a mix knob on this pedal, and I do see where they're coming from, where it would be nice to be able to dial the effect back, but I do think that that's kind of like, it's like part of the charm of the thing, you know? It's shamelessly itself. And it's it's an intense thing. Like, we've got this quite subtle thing dialed in right now, but like it's like you have to take it as it is for the organic thing that it is, and I really like that. Okay, so let's dive in and see how the intensity switch treats us. Still times 10, by the way. Yeah, definitely hear that intensity there. Okay, let's make something a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's take it all the way. Lovely. Okay. Great stuff there. That was still on the times 10, as I said, but let's see how the delay time responds now with it times 1 to the intensity. We'll put it back to, we'll find some nice reasonable setting with it all, and then we'll add the intensity and see. More like a flangery kind of thing, I think. There we go, yeah. Oof. That's so sweet. That shifting detune is so lovely. I mean, is that a mild setting? It's certainly tasteful to my ears, but... Excuse me. My goodness. I can't help it. Okay, that's where we get the real kind of flangery sounds. And in that case, the clarinet's tone isn't affected so much, it seems. Maybe it's lessened a little, but... Okay, I think this gives us a good insight into the way the depth knob works, because we can... Ooh, that's quite interesting. Wow. What it's doing to those overtones is just beautiful. Yeah, the interplay between the modulation and the clarinet. Yeah, the clarinet tone not so heavily affected, it seems. Oof. That's just beautiful. Yeah, that's a keeper. And then we get to these longer times. Yeah. So even with especially with the intensity up and the delay time at the times one, that's great. I'm very happy with this. Okay, the last switch, the only one that we haven't really played with particularly much here, is the LFO and envelope. What we're going to work towards is having all of the switches on this side and those guys modulated. In fact, let's just go straight there now. The pedal at its most extreme, perhaps.
Let's see here. It couldn't be more different from the natural sound. Yeah, it does seem to be very reactive there. Let's try the envelope. Okay, this is going to give us a good idea of the reactivity. A lot of depth, but fascinating. Yeah, less reactive here it seems. Am I wrong? Yeah, it's brilliant. How could I not add the intensity there? Let's see how this sounds when it goes further down the instrument. Yeah. This kind of area just seems to add such interesting. Okay, that's kind of speaking for itself there. I think that's just wonderful, and I cannot wait to find ways to use this, especially with the fuzz. Okay, keeping an envelope now, we're going to go to times 10.
to it. Okay, lovely. This is just going to be so much fun to come up with different situations for. What we're going to do is finish up, because I think we've covered about everything there. We are going to finish up with a little bit of a sample that is more melodic. This is a song that we haven't had crop up in the channel for a while. This is the Call to Shiva the Destroyer, and let's just hear the sample. Basically the top ranges and the lower ranges of the contrabass brought together. So that's not even with the intensity. It's a bit ridiculous, but that's just lovely. And they're responding to the envelope. Yeah, the way it's responding to the melody is just so washed out. It's wonderful. Even that. A much more subtle effect of it still. A
yeah, I wasn't entirely sure that I was into the envelope mode so much. I think partly because it's a little bit more mysterious than the LFO, but it actually seems to be growing on me more and more. The way it responds to what's being given to it is just so lovely. Let's go to the times 10 thing. I mean, I do think this delay time does feel like the biggest turning point in this pedal. You know, it's like the thing that it, like when you shift it up like that, it's a big definitive change. So very pleasant delay. That's where it gets a little bit. It's just such a subtle device, except for when it's not. Doesn't need much depth with that intensity. It's just so textural. Okay, we're going all the way. such an amazing pedal. I mean, I can hear what people mean when they say they would like a mix knob in there, but also, for my money, I just look at it as another creative aspect of it, you know. Such a wonderful pedal, and I'm so glad that I was able to pick it up for myself. And we are very excited to get it involved in the rig with the fuzz. Yeah. So maybe what we will do is perhaps do something where we combine this with the dweller. That would be interesting to see. And we've got it handy. Maybe we'll do the dark star as well. That might be very interesting. Well, thank you for sticking around. I hope this has been as interesting and enjoyable for you as it has been for us. This has just been such a lovely exploration. I really feel we've been able to capture some of the magic that we found at Hank's Music Exchange when we were playing with this for the first time. It's just such an organic interface, such an interactive, tactile pedal, textural, and we are very grateful to have it. Well, thank you for sticking around, I think I already said, but also keep well. I hope you are weller than I am at this current moment. Take care.